Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel PubAdmClasses. Today we will discuss University Grants Commission NET Syllabus. Subject, Public Administration. Unit I, Introduction to Public Administration. Public Administration meaning, nature, scope, and significance. Evolution and present status of the discipline. Politics administration dichotomy. Globalization and public administration. Paradigm shift from government to governance. Principles of organization. Division of work. Hierarchy. Coordination. Unity of command. Span of control. Authority, power, and responsibility. Delegation. Centralization and decentralization. Line, staff, and auxiliary agencies. Leadership and supervision. Decision making and communication. Meaning, nature, and scope. Personnel administration. Classification, recruitment, training, promotion, compensation, and service conditions. Discipline, civil service neutrality, anonymity and commitment, professional associations and unions. Unit 2. Administrative thought. Approaches to the study of public administration. Oriental, Kautilya. Classical, F.W. Taylor. Henri Fayol. Max Weber. Luther Gulick, and Lyndall Irwin. Human Relations, Elton Mayo, Mary Parker Follett. Behavioralism, Chester Barnard, Herbert Simon. Motivation, Abraham Maslow, Frederick Herzberg, Douglas McGregor. Organizational Humanism, Chris Argyris, Rensis Likert. Writers on Administration, Dwight Waldo, Farrell Hetty, Robert Golembiewski, and Peter Drucker. Minnow Brook Perspective. New Public Service and Postmodernism. Unit 3. Indian Administration. Evolution. Ancient, Mughal, and British periods. Constitutional Framework. Parliamentary and federal features. Union Government. President. Prime Minister and Council of Ministers. Cabinet. Committees. Central Secretariat. Cabinet Secretariat and Prime Minister Office. Election Commission and Electoral Reforms. Union-state relations. Accountability. Legislative, executive, and judicial. Citizen grievance redressal mechanism. Lokpal, Lokayukta, Central Vigilance Commission, and regulatory authorities. Issue areas. Politician and civil servant relations. Generalists and specialists debate and combating corruption. Civil services. Classification. All India services, central services, and state services. Recruitment agencies, Union Public Service Commission, State Public Service Commissions, and other commissions and boards. Capacity building of civil servants, and civil service reforms. Planning, Planning Commission, National Development Council, Niti Aayog, State Planning Commission/boards, and planning departments. Judiciary, Indian Constitution and independence of judiciary. Supreme Court, High Courts, Judicial Review, and Public Interest Litigation, and Judicial Reforms. Police Administration and Reforms. E-Governance Initiatives in Indian Administration. Unit 4. State and Local Administration. Constitutional Framework of State Administration. State Legislature. Governor. Role and functions. Chief Minister. Powers and functions. Council of Ministers. Role and functions of Chief Secretary. State Secretariat. Directorates and Commissionate. District Administration. Concept and evolution. District Collector. Power, functions, and changing role. Autonomous District Councils. Structure, powers, and functions. District Rural Development Agency. Evolution of local governance in India. Local governance. 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts. State Election Commission. State Finance Commission. District Planning Committee. Rural Governance. Gram Sabha. Gram Panchayats, Panchayat Samitis, and Zila Parishads. Finance and PRIs, Personnel Administration at local level. Policies, Programs of Rural Development. MGNREGA. Growth of urbanization. Urban governance. Structure, composition, functions of municipal corporations, municipal councils, Nagar Panchayats, and metropolitan governance. Sources of finance. Personnel administration. Reforms in urban governance. Solid waste management. smart and emerald cities. Unit V, Comparative and Development Administration. Comparative Public Administration. Concept, nature, scope, and significance of comparative public administration. Public administration and its environment. Approaches and methods to the study of comparative administration. Institutional, behavioral, structural, functional, ecological, and systems approaches. Fred Riggs's typology of societies and features. Problems of comparative research. Comparative studies. Influence of globalization. Salient features of the administrative systems of UK, USA, France, and Japan. Development administration. Development and its dimensions. Development and modernization. Approaches to development. Sustainable development and anti-development. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Development administration. Concept, nature, scope, objectives, features, and significance. Ecology of Development Administration. Contribution of Fred Riggs, Dwight Waldo, and Edward Widener. Role of bureaucracy in development. Globalization and Development Administration. Emergence of non-state actors in development administration. Public-private partnerships. Corporate social responsibility. Human development indicators and social audit. Unit C, Economic and Financial Administration. Economic policies. Mixed economy to liberalization, privatization, and globalization. New Economic Policy, NEP. Industrial policy since independence. Government and business, public enterprises. Concept, growth, and forms of public enterprises. Management, problem of accountability and autonomy. Disinvestment policies. Financial administration, public finance, revenue and expenditure. Nature, scope, and significance of financial administration. Budget, meaning, purpose, and significance. Budgetary process, preparation, enactment, and execution. Types of budget, PPBS, performance budget, zero-based budget, and gender budget. Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, FRBMA, and sunset legislation. Fiscal federalism, Union-State Financial Relations, Finance Commission. Financial control, legislature and executive, parliamentary committees, and Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Taxation policies, principles of taxation, progressive and proportional taxation, reforms in taxation policies. Unit C1, Social Welfare Administration, concept of social welfare, social justice, and social change. Concept of equity and inclusiveness in social justice. Concept of affirmative action reservations. Institutional arrangement for social welfare and social justice administration. NGOs, civil societies, and voluntary agencies. Policies, programs, and institutional framework for the protection and welfare of SCs, STs, OBCs, women, children, aged, differently abled, Divyang, and minorities commissions. Women, SC/ST minority role and functions. Disaster management. Nature and types of disaster. Institutional arrangements for disaster management. Role of state and non-state actors. Unit 8. Public policy. Nature, scope, and importance of public policy. Evolution of public policy and policy sciences. Public policy and public administration. Approaches to public policy. Process approach. Logical positivism. Phenomenological approach. Participatory and normative approaches. Theories and models of policymaking. Harold Lasswell, Charles Lindblom, Yehezkel Dror. Institutions of policymaking. Legislature, executive, and judiciary. Types of policy analysis. Empirical, normative, retrospective and prospective, prescriptive and descriptive. Policy implementation, outcomes and evaluation. Constraints on public policy, socioeconomic, political, institutional, and cultural. Role of media, public opinion, civil society, and pressure groups on policymaking. Unit X, Governance and Good Governance. Ancient Discourse. Kautilya, Plato, and Aristotle on good governance. Elements and forms of good governance. Theories and concepts of governance. World Bank and UNDP. state, market, and civil society, public choice theory, new public management, public value theory, governance as theory, governance and public governance, networking and collaborative governance, business process re-engineering, ICT and governance, e-government and e-governance, e-readiness and digital divide, accountability, openness and transparency, gender and governance, citizen and governance, civil society, role and limitations, citizen participation, right to information, RTI Act and administrative reforms, National Information Commission, Citizen Charter, concept, objectives, and significance, ethics and public accountability and governance, rule of law and administrative law, delegated legislation and administrative adjudication, ethical foundations of governance, constitutional values, family, society, and education. Unit X, research methodology, social science research, meaning and significance. Distinction between methodology and method. Facts and values in research. Role of research in theory building. Scientific method. Objectivity in social research. Types of research. Identification of research problem. Hypotheses and null hypotheses. Validation of hypothesis. Research design. Methods of data collection. Primary and secondary sources. Observation. Questionnaire and interview. Use of library and internet. Sampling and sampling techniques. Scales of measurement. Analysis of data and use of computers in social science research. SPSS. Citation patterns and ethics of research. Bibliography.